On Monday, Senator Rand Paul touted his efforts to end mandatory animal testing in the Senate. The Kentucky Republicans' FDA Modernization Act, which is co-sponsored by Democratic Senator Cory Booker and has received bipartisan support, would release companies from compulsory testing on animals. Paul promoted the legislation while at Animal Wellness Action in Kentucky, where he is seeking a third term in office. Paul currently enjoys a double-digit lead on his opponent, Democrat Charles Booker.
Thanks, Wayne. This truly is a great day for dogs, for beagles in particular, and for their owners. Anytime we can save the lives of our pets and not gratuitously use them in experiments that often amount to little more than torture is a day to celebrate. This bill lacks only one more vote. If we get that vote in the House, it'll become law. As a physician, I've been involved in research. I understand that there are times when we might have to test something on an animal to be safe enough to test on a human. But I understand also that it shouldn't be mandated and that there can be many advances and have been many advances over the last few decades that would allow us to do experiments without having to first sacrifice animals. I also, from looking at some of the horrific research that's been done on, if you can call it research, on beagles, that I think really it doesn't fit with our modern sensibilities and it shouldn't happen. And just because we can do something doesn't mean we should do it. For many years, for many decades, cosmetics were tested on animals, and now you see cosmetics advertised saying these cosmetics were not tested on animals. So we can test toxicity, and we've been able to do it, and there's whole marketing. In fact, huge portions of our public now buy cosmetics that were not tested on animals. So I think this is what the public wants. This bill doesn't mandate one way or the other, it just simply says it will not be mandated. You don't have to do it. As Wayne mentioned, there's a lot of times not a correlation between what happens in a dog and a human. So it might be safe in the dog and not safe in the human or vice versa. It hasn't been very good science. So we should reassess the science. This bill will correct something that's been around since 1938. And I think it's high time that we get rid of this mandate. This is a much more reasonable policy. And I think this is a great step forward for all of America, particularly pets, pet owners, and all the beagles. Go Beagles. Thank you.